What do we want? When do we want it?
On a recent broadcast, Chris Salcedo of Newsmax TV asked Convention of States President Mark Meckler for an update on the movement.
Does Convention of States Action have a game plan to target those in the various states who are preventing the states from participating in a convention, to remove those obstructionists from office?
Yeah, we do, and we've been executing on that. Of course, a lot of that has taken place in the primaries. Unfortunately, we have folks who call themselves conservatives but are not willing to stand against the federal government, and we've been successful in removing some of those in states around the country already. We'll continue to do that as the primaries play out. And then obviously, we'll be out there in the general elections as legal, removing Democrats who oppose Convention of States as well.
Under public fire from special interest groups and politicians alike, Oklahoma State Superintendent Ryan Walters was this month's guest on COS at Home, sharing his thoughts on Article 5 of the Constitution and the fight for freedom in education.
So tell us when you first learned about Convention of States and why you believe Article 5 provides us with a solution to our problems.
The first person to really get me on to understanding really the practical application today and why it is the answer was Mark Levin. I'm a big Mark Levin fan. So, heard him on the radio show talking about it, bought his book, The Liberty Amendments, and that really got me down the road of, I think this absolutely needs to happen now. I believe the founders were absolutely brilliant in so much of what they did. But in Article 5, giving the people the direct ability to amend the Constitution in case our elected officials got out of control, was a very brilliant move on their part, and one that we should absolutely be utilizing. So,
to commemorate the 237th anniversary of the American Constitution, Convention of States is launching the Constitution Challenge.
What is the challenge? Pretty simple. A lot of people have never done it. Read the United States Constitution. Every American needs to know what's in the Constitution. My favorite president, Calvin Coolidge, called it the greatest political privilege ever accorded to the human race. And while the feds in Washington, D.C. have abandoned the United States Constitution, we at Convention of States are fighting every single day to restore it. So go to conventionofstates.com/1787, take the Constitution Challenge.
Along with a free copy of the Constitution, you can also download a fun activity book for kids featuring the Liberty Llama. The real-life inspiration for that character was seen at a recent event in North Carolina. Reepicheep is his real name, COS volunteer Greg Hall's lovable pet who has become a staple of the North Carolina Capitol in Raleigh, often drawing attention from legislators and visitors alike. Meanwhile, the military veterans with COS Colorado are continuing to serve their country by racking up hundreds of petitions for Convention of States this summer. Local COS teams continue to draw headlines, including in Iowa and Ohio. Finally, here's a montage of snapshots from grassroots events going on around the country, including Mississippi, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Colorado, Ohio, and Oklahoma. And now, you're up to date with Convention of States.
What do